All right, so we've brought it to this point. Now what we need to do is add the lighting. So I've gone ahead and duplicated my canvas and then merged all of these layers together so that if I need to go back, I can. And now this whole pig is just on one layer. I can move it around by itself, do whatever I want with it, okay? So we're going to select this shape, this whole layer. We're gonna make a new layer and set it to multiply and get a nice light blue color, and this is gonna be what we use for our shadows. I'm going to use the same charcoal block brush we've been using to keep that sort of consistent texture. And we're gonna come in here and start really lightly putting in some shadows. Now already I can tell I want this to be a little bit more purple and a little lighter. Okay, we might come back later and lighten it up some more. And we're just going to very, very softly put in a couple shadows here where it needs to be. Okay. So underneath these jowls, we're not getting super complicated or detailed because we want this to still feel really cartoony and childlike. Okay, so we're not going to go hardcore here and render out every single little crevice or detail and stuff like that. We want to keep it nice and simple. You can go over the edge just a little bit because it helps with that paper cutout sort of feel. Okay, we're going to go in his mouth here. Okay, and then under his ear. And then a little bit in here in the corners of his eyes. Bottom of his mouth. His chin. I'm going to do this fold of fat right here on his forehead. As well as this one on his brow. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's do some down here on his feet. Now we need to do the rockets. So the rockets are going to be casting a shadow onto his body. We're going to paint that in. Excellent. And then the rockets need the actual shadow themselves. Okay, grab my eraser tool so we can clean up that edge. Excellent. We're going to get inside here now. Get my eraser, clean that off. Perfect. Then we'll hit the underside of this part of the turban. Awesome. It's looking really great. Let's come over here and just brush in super lightly the underside of this fin. Okay. Excellent. Let's come over here to the other turbine. Do that side as well. Underside of that one. Bring it back with our eraser tool. Okay. Underside there. Sorry, I'm just jumping back over to this other one really quick because I realized I needed to fix that cast shadow a little bit. And then the other side, underside of that wing over there. Perfect. So there we go. I think that looks good enough for our shadows. Now we're going to add some light. So make a new layer, set this one to screen. We're going to select this again so we're not painting outside of our lines, and with our screen layer, we're going to use a really dark orangish brown color. Okay, and we're just going to do the opposite of what we did and paint in just a little bit of light where it needs it. You know what, we don't really want a lot on the pig actually because he's not a very reflective surface, but we can do some. We'll do a little bit down here on the nose. And his lip too, his mouth. I'm gonna leave the ears and his skin alone. We can maybe do some on the belt here though. Okay. And then a little shiny piece up here for the belt as well. Get our eraser tool and clean that up a bit. Excellent. Now we can do the rocket here. So we're going to have it start just at the top of the rocket. Excellent. We can get our eraser tool and clean that up a bit. Hit with just a quick line of, actually, let's bring that down in size. There we go. We can do a little bit on the top of this fin here. Actually, you know what? I'm just thinking it looks better without it. Maybe just a little bit like that. Okay. To the top of the rocket here. Little thruster in the back. Little line of shine right along the top of the fin here. Alright, excellent. Let's move on to this other side. Perfect. At the top of that, we're gonna get the top of this turbine on each side, as well as a little dash flight down here on the bottom of each one, and then a little bit at the top as well. Okay. Perfect. So that covers it for our lighting and our shadows. Actually, one last thing before I forget. I want to bring that blue back, because I noticed I wanted to get some of these shadows underneath this belt so that we can kind of help differentiate it. Let people know that it's sitting on the pig. Okay. There we go. That looks a little better. I like that. And then we can adjust this, if it's too dark, I'm going to lighten it a little bit. And that, I think the light up there looks fine. In fact, we might make that actually a little bit brighter. There we go. Okay, and we have all of the lighting done. We can move on to the next step. So I'll see you guys in the next lecture.